Hey, collective, it's Anne Marie. You're in the vehicle. You're in Ravenhawk, where the magic doesn't happen. I'm just kidding. I'm joking, Ravenhawk. I don't have a horn, so there's my horn. It probably helps me out when I don't have a horn. I'm like, except when people are trying to hit me. Anywho, so we're doing laundry, thanks to my neighbor who got us up really early today. So I was like, great, let's go do laundry. So while we're waiting for the wash, I have a new deck, Seasons of the Witch, the Lammas Oracle. Now this is, I believe, the 7th installment of Seasons of the Witch. Yes, 7th installment. And so I love all these decks. Each one of them has a theme. So the theme for this deck is the sunflower. It's because it's the tallest, largest flower to be seen. So this deck, this deck is all about your courage, your strength, what you need to do, or suggestions to kind of like boss up whatever that is in your life, whatever you need to do to stand tall, to be seen, and not to be afraid of that. So why don't we get into this? Thank you to my high vibrating ancestors, spirit guides, divine into being, the source of light energy. Can we please get some messages of clarity? What does the season of the witch want us to know? What do we need to know, spirit? Thank you. Thank you for this beautiful, glorious day. It was 60 yesterday and it's 30 today. Gotta love Ohio. Not much longer. All right. Thank you to my high vibrating ancestor spirit guides with messages. I picked this last night. Farm to Table. And I'm going to read from the book. Farm to Table, number 18, which is 9. Aren't we in the year of the 9? Yes, I believe we are. Liberate yourself from influence and invoke the power within. This is pretty much self-explanatory, but let me just, because anytime I get a new book, I like to familiarize myself. You know, I read this last night. I was doing all kinds of stuff last night. This is a big one. Okay, keywords are knowing the source and spiritual pesticides. Liberate yourself from influence and invoke the power within. It's a shame that many of us do not know the source of our own food or what toxic chemicals it may contain. The development of urban areas has removed us from the connection with fresh fruits and vegetables, causing us to have little information about the origins of what effects they may have on our bodies. The same can be said for spiritual nourishment. You might experience intense emotions that do not seem to have a source, or perhaps you are living a belief that wasn't really yours, but something you picked up on as a child. Well, receiving this card nudges you to reflect on the source of what you're feeling. What is the root cause? Where's the source of what you're feeling? You know, you just have a great day and all of a sudden it's like, boom, your emotions have changed. And then you're like, oh, I'm bipolar. My emotions are like this. I'm not a doctor. So I'm not under diagnosing anybody. However, this is what this is talking about, okay? Receiving this card nudges you to reflect on the source of what you're feeling. Is it truly coming from you, or could it be something you've picked up unintentionally, not realizing the toxic energy it contains? Let me tell you what, that was the last couple of years of where I really learned about that stuff. Perhaps spending time with a dear friend depletes your energy. You love them, but every word they speak seems to be dipped in negativity. Ain't that? Well, I can't be around it. There could be a place you frequent that always leaves you feeling tired and drained. Carrying energies that belong to another will keep you from experiencing more love, happiness, abundance, and more. So take steps to clear and protect your energy, and further steps to separate your feelings from those of another. Be warned that it could involve limiting your exposure. You have to limit these individuals in your life. Reread that previous paragraph, paying close attention to what came to mind first. It holds a clue that will guide you. So here are some prompts that may be able to help you. I'm going to read them, even though, you know, I'm already getting a channel message. I want to read these because they may help some of you ask some of these questions so you can kind of really hone in on where these emotions or feelings are coming from. A lot of times they're not even yours. And you're just picking them up. It's like you're just walking down the street, you go in the grocery store, you pick up all kinds of random strangers' energy, you go into work, you pick up all kinds of people's random energy, you're talking to a friend, or you're doing whatever, and you wonder at the end of the day why you're so depleted. It may possibly be because of all the shit you picked up. Do you notice any patterns in the way that you think and feel? Reflecting on this can help determine whether these feelings come from within or whether they are being influenced by outside sources. Journaling is an effective tool to dig deep into your subconscious and uncover the source of your emotions. Here are a few journaling prompts if you would like them. What do you think or believe before the emotion arises? How does this feeling manifest? Thank you, son. How does this feeling manifest itself physically throughout your body? Is there anything that triggers this feeling? What would happen if you let go of that feeling? What thoughts or beliefs do you have that are connected with this feeling? Who or what is this feeling trying to tell you something about? What are you afraid of if you let go of this feeling? Is there someone else who might be influencing the way you feel? What can you learn from this feeling, and how can you help move forward in the positive direction? So, Spirit is saying, and the Witch's Oracle is saying, it's like these people are all eating all these, these nutritional things. It all looks nutritional. Ooh, is that some cheese? Yes, it is. Cheese and bread. They're all these, but not only what you're putting into your body, and what around you is actually, are you wearing it like a film around your body? And like I was saying, just, right in the beginning of the reading, it's like a lot of people don't realize a lot of the weight that they're carrying isn't their weight to bear. And a lot of times people don't, and I know there's thousands that can attest to this. Once you slowly start to remove yourself from these energies, you will notice how your energy changes, how you're more uplifted, how you feel more positive about things, right? And be careful with that, because if you're still around those individuals and they see you feeling good about yourself, you best believe they're going to breathe doubt into you, okay? And these are people who probably don't know how to protect their own energy. So what Spirit is saying is, and if you can't get away, like say it's at a job, right? And you're around a lot of negative things, how can you protect yourself throughout the day? When I tell you about an hour and a half of every single one of my days is about protection, cleansing, warding, whether it's first thing when I wake up, it's before I go into the office, it's at like lunchtime when I go out to smoke a little cigarette, I cleanse my energy again. It's when I get home, I cleanse my energy, and right before I go to bed. And that's just because the type of work I do spiritually and in the 3D as a social worker. There's a lot of energies coming at me all the time. And so it's so important for you to cleanse your energy and recognize what is yours and what isn't yours. After you get off the phone with your mom, do you start to second guess everything about yourself? Do you have doubts about yourself? Look into that. After you go hang out with one of your girlfriends or boyfriends or friends or whatever like that, how do you feel after the interaction? Somebody once told me, and though her and I are no longer friends, and it was hard for me to hear, when I started my awakening a few years ago, I was like all over the place, right? And her and I had coffee one day, and she said, Anne-Marie, it's so intense being around you because your energy just drains me. You just drain my energy. And I remember feeling so bad, and I like really personalized it, and I was really sad and hurt about it. But it gave me a chance to look and say, oh, I need to start doing more energy work. Like, how can I manage my own energy so my energy doesn't affect other people? Not a lot of people, you'd be surprised, don't have that insight to check how their energy and how they affect, right? And so it's up to us individually to make that determination how to protect us. And you know what? I've said this 100 times, and I'll say it 100 times more. The fact that I walked away from everybody that used to be in my life was the best thing I did for me. When I see you're on some fuck shit and you don't want to take accountability, I remove myself. I don't have to explain shit. You know what you did. And I don't need to explain it. Energy doesn't lie. And it's amazing that I have all this energy now and all this clarity now because I had to remove a lot of people out of my life. All of my family. I mean, I should have done that a long time ago. I would have felt so much better. But I had to remove all of them. They're on demon time, by the way, anyway. They present well, but they're all fucking demon time, boy. And even friends and old colleagues and connections like that. Because they didn't know how to, whatever they need to do for their energy, and I wore it. So be very mindful. So start looking at how are you feeling around certain people? How can you start to protect yourself better? And there's tons of ways to do it. How can you cleanse yourself? Recognizing what's yours, what's not yours. I was like, oh, this ain't my energy. Get away from me, energy. Get away, get away, get away. Get away, get away. There's all kinds of things that you can do. So I hope this message reached who it needs to. I hope you're healthy and happy and full of joy. I truly, truly do. May you love and be loved. Heal, don't harm. Have a great